Well, Anders, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited to see what you've got. Obviously something to do with multi-screen and touch gestures, yes?
Yes, it has. What we did was we looked at what happens when you go from touch on a small device, where all you can really do is pinch and zoom on a small screen. On a big screen, you can have more hands, more fingers, and more people. So you would want to be able to say, if I move with one finger and move with two fingers and move with the whole hand, different things. If I zoom with two fingers or zoom with three, different things. So that's what we looked at. Now, we then built a framework around this where you first have an engine here that reads the touch signals from the sensor, converts it into what are you trying to do. Report this as events. Then you have a framework up here that allows multiple people to interact around the same things at the same time. And this could be one endpoint or many across the world or inside the same room on many different apps. So you can have an iPad and a screen up here and a screen at home, and they're all linked up to the same thing.
So that's part of your challenge here as well, which is how do you expand people's understanding of what is potentially possible, because this is different than what we're used to in a good way.
It's a big
Is that one of your challenges you have to face?
It is. So one of the examples we have, let me show the app first for how we do it in the home. So this is a kitchen where you have 6 screens installed there. And with touch, you decide what photos you want to add into that thing. Like that. Let me actually get this one up again and show you what we do with the touch.
That's
with
fascinating.
one finger you scroll, with 2 fingers you move. So this means I know now I'm scrolling and now I move it away, gone. So now when I have that, let's delete these ones as well. One thing we have here, this is an install we have where we have screens on all 8 sides, inside a real home.
So within that column there, you're talking it's got screens all the way around.
All sides.
So that's a different type of interface to understand.
Nobody
We're
has
used to just square.
Exactly, this is not square. So we have 2 concepts. One that is round, like this, and this means when it is round, there's no endpoint. So if I do this, it will spin around. And I can spin anywhere here. And we can have multiple people working at the same time. So now, this is the round thing. We have another one I'm going to show later where we have one with no limits at all. So it is square, but with no limits. Imagine like a big table.
Love it. So how does this stuff work behind the scenes?
Let me show you. So I'm going to jump to a black slide so we can see what's behind and go into a mode where we can see the things that are behind.
That was your passcode? Just go.
Passcode like that. So like,
does it only recognize your fingertips?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
No, not quite. So here I'm going to show you what the sensor looks like.
Okay.
So this is the sensor, shows you one finger moving. It goes fine. That's what people do today. But once you start to say, I want to detect 2 fingers to move the window, this is what happens. You see how the sensors have these fingers jumping up and down?
Yeah.
Now, what we do, we link this.
Okay.
So we link the fingers together because we look at them over time. We see, within this time, a new finger came down, so we link this one. Now, we are able to do that even though we have 2 fingers going up and down at the same time, like here. One of the ways we do it, let me show you here, is we render the fingers in 3D. Because with that, we were able to learn how does fingers actually look.
You're operating on a Z-axis as well.
Right.
Okay.
How does fingers work? Because this is X and Y over time.
Right.
So you have to think up in space. And that's what we did to come up with a model where we could distinguish the fingers. And we had 40 people in to touch and move things around just to study and learn how does this work. Because when you go more than 1 finger pinch and zoom, you need to learn a lot. So that's what we did. Now, I'd like to show you how we could elaborate on this.
I would love for you to show me that.
And this is a different app. This one is right now looking mostly on how you go on web. So I'm going to open up a website and going to open up a website with some video. And of course, we also need a Cisco website. Now, in the beginning, I said that we have the concept of one-to-many because that's what people can understand.
Right.
So with 1 finger, I scroll. With the 2nd finger, I then resize, which is what we know. With 2 fingers, I move, and that's new.
You're seeing some bounding here as well. Yeah.
I do. So now we have the whole area of the website. And now with the 2nd finger, I'm able to now take that in and have a bigger place. Now, with 5 fingers, I move everything like that. And now I can get back to the one I had before. Like what we had before with the 2nd finger, I can now resize the whole lot like that.
Okay, you anchored with that one and then did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or when you get used to it, you can do it just with the one hand. So once you get a hang for it, it is very, very, very quick and easy to use.
Now, quick question on that.
Yeah.
So if I'm a Cisco product developer And obviously you've got some pre-built things that you guys have spent a lot of time working out. I assume you also offer an interface for the product designer who needs a unique gesture that maybe you didn't think of, or something that's going to map specific to their application. They have the freedom to do that or to work with you on that?
We will add whatever thing that can be done because we know how the sensors work. We can build the filters, we can make one that doesn't interfere with any of the others.
Oh, wow.
And that's the smart thing we've done because you need to be able to see this is 2 fingers and 5 fingers, and when you build a new one, you don't want to delay everything else just because you have a new
They might not know what that residual effect is going to be. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
One example of that is a gesture we have for splitting the screen. Because what happens when we work on this together, we have one keyboard here and one there, and they're both doing something tied.
So 2 different people could be working on something?
Yeah, right.
Now how much are they going to step on each other, however, if they're sharing? Because obviously these are all tied together. Is that an issue?
Good, very good point, because I may do something here, and then you do something there, and then I decide I actually want to get to this one, so I drag the whole lot.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey,
I
I
need that
actually
over
use
here.
this one, right?
Yeah.
What you do like this, and now we split the screen.
Okay.
So now I can move this away any way I want to, and you can move this away any way that you want to. Now, if I want to follow you, I drag out a view, and now I have a view of your screen. So I can follow whatever you do. Whenever you do something here, you zoom, you move, I can see it here live.
This is exciting. So I hate to wrap you up here for just a moment because I could talk about this all day long. But obviously this has huge implications for not just Cisco from a collaboration standpoint, for the way we interact and interface with everything that we make, I would think, as well as other companies that are making stuff that play with our products, gaming, home entertainment.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you. You guys are doing wonderful work.
Thank you very much.